Today we are breaking down a phishing technique that is so effective it bypasses the trained eye. It's called the browser in the browser attack. This attack fakes a browser pop-up to steal your login info and even bypass things like WhatsApp's OTP. Usually, we are taught to trust the lock icon and the URL bar. But what happens when the browser window itself is a lie? I'll show you how it works, set up a safe demo on AWS, and simulate it step by step. Browser in the browser is a phishing attack where hackers use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to create a fake browser window right inside a web page. It looks like a legit site for logging in with Google, Microsoft, or even scanning a WhatsApp QR code. The fake window shows a real-looking URL with a green lock icon, tricking you into entering credentials or OTPs. Unlike old-school phishing with obvious fake sites, this one loads the real login page in a controlled environment, making it hard to detect. It was first popularized in 2022 and has evolved to target apps like WhatsApp for OTP interception. Here's the breakdown. A victim clicks a phishing link, say from an email promising a WhatsApp update. The page loads a fake pop-up that mimics a browser window. Inside, it either draws a spoofed login form or embeds the real WhatsApp web page. When you enter your details or scan the QR, which sends an OTP, the attacker intercepts it in real time. They can use tools to log keystrokes or hijack the session. This bypasses 2FA because you're authenticating on the real site, but in their controlled browser. So in short, a headless browser with target site is hosted on a VM controlled by attacker. When a victim clicks on the phishing link, he is redirected to the hosted browser instance, where attacker can see all data, including any OTP, and can utilize cookies saved on the VM controlled by him. For this practical lab, we need 3 key components. First, you need a domain name to serve as the phishing link. You can buy this directly from Cloudflare or use a registrar like Namecheap, but it is critical that your DNS is managed by Cloudflare. Second, you need a cloud virtual machine. Many providers offer free trials, but for this video, I will be using AWS. And finally, we need a headless browser installed on that VM. We will be using Firefox for this setup. For this demo, I'll use an AWS VM to keep our environment isolated and safe. AWS offers a free trial that is perfect for getting started. So sign up for an account and head to the console home. From there, navigate to the EC2 dashboard and click Launch Instance. Give your instance a name and select a basic Linux AMI like Ubuntu. For this lab, we need reliable performance to avoid any lag with the headless browser, so I am selecting the M7 i-flex.large instance type, which provides sufficient RAM and CPU. Under Network Settings, make sure to allow traffic for SSH, HTTP, and HTTPS. Then go ahead and launch the instance. In a few moments, the instance will be live, and you will see all the details, including your public IP address. Click Connect, select the EC2 Instance Connect tab, and hit Connect again. This establishes an SSH connection directly inside your browser. Once we are in, we can verify our IP and current user. You will also notice that Docker is not installed yet, which is exactly what we will set up in the next step. To install Docker, we will follow the official Docker documentation. According to the guide, our first step is to remove any conflicting packages. So, go ahead and run the command provided in the documentation to clear those out. Next, simply follow the remaining steps in the guide and execute the commands one by one to complete the installation. To verify the installation, simply type docker -- version. As you can see, the version number is displayed, confirming that Docker is successfully installed. Next, we need to deploy our headless Firefox browser. Search for the Firefox Docker image and open the GitHub repository. You will find the standard command there to pull the image and set everything up. For this lab, I have modified that command slightly. I added a read/write volume so our session data persists, and I mapped the service to port 80 for easy access. Run the command, and it will automatically fetch and initialize the container. Now, simply enter the VM's IP address into your address bar. As you can see, we are now successfully running a remote Firefox instance directly inside Chrome. Next, we will be installing a keylogger so that whatever the victim does is logged. Click on the Extensions icon in the toolbar and select Find More Add-ons to discover extensions. Search for keyloggers. We will get many results. We will use Nifty Keylogger for our purpose. Select it and add it to Firefox. Once installed, click on the extension icon and open its settings to manage the extension. Here, allow everything to enable it on all sites and in private windows. Now, close all the tabs. To make this convincing, we need to strip away the browser UI. We have to remove the side pane and the address bar so the victim cannot tell they are looking at a separate remote browser instance. Head back to your SSH session. First, stop the running container and then remove it completely to clear the previous configuration. Now, run the container again using the updated command shown on screen. This time, we are enabling kiosk mode, which forces the browser into a permanent full-screen state. If you browse back to the IP address now, you will see the difference immediately. The address bar is gone, and we have a clean window. Finally, to remove that floating sidebar, execute the configuration command shown here. Refresh the page, and there it is, a perfect, distraction-free WhatsApp interface. The trap is set. If a victim scans this QR code, it will load their real WhatsApp chats just like normal. Except now, every message they see is also visible to us on the attacker's side. Finally, we need to fix the page title. Right now, the tab might show a generic name, which is a dead giveaway. To make it realistic, run the command shown on screen to inject the correct title, WhatsApp. Now, if you check the window, the title bar matches exactly what a user expects to see. The illusion is complete. Now, we need to point our phishing domain to the attack server. I already have a domain managed on Cloudflare for this purpose. Open the DNS settings for your domain. First, remove any existing records to avoid conflicts. Then, add a new A record. Set the name to @ or your subdomain and the IPv4 address to the public IP of our AWS instance. Next, we need to secure the site with HTTPS to make it look legitimate. Navigate to the SSL/TLS settings in the sidebar. Change the encryption mode to flexible. This allows Cloudflare to handle the SSL certificate between the victim and their edge network while talking to our server over HTTP. With that, everything is set up. Open a new tab and visit your domain. As you can see, the page loads perfectly, and crucially, it has a valid SSL padlock. An attacker can now send this link to a target. Because the application behaves exactly like the original, including real-time interactions, the victim is unlikely to notice it's a fake, allowing us to bypass even multi-factor authentication mechanisms. And there you have it, a fully functional browser-in-the-browser attack lab. That is the browser-in-the-browser attack. It proves that we can't just trust our eyes anymore. Thanks for watching and stay safe.